Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I hope everyone is having a great midweek. Sorry I wasn't on last night, but I take off one day, and content creators are apparently coming back from the dead, resurrecting, so to speak. And I wouldn't even talk about this if I had not talked about this back when the alleged suicide happened. And I'm talking about content creator Salsa Ray. And apparently, within the last 24 hours, she had started posting on a OnlyFans page. And now, at the time of the alleged suicide, I took that as an opportunity to talk about individuals on the autism spectrum, adults, and talked about, the suicide rate among adults with autism. And, there was very, very little evidence really to lead you to believe that this young lady had taken her life. Now, this, of course, is a black content creator, for those of you who don't know. And many people consider her to be a bigger content creator because, um, she had, I believe, she has like over 40,000 subs. And I know that there are some black YouTubers that are bigger than that. I subscribe to quite a few that are well over 100K. Um, and the reason for the alleged suicide, and I'm gonna keep calling it alleged because if she's got a OnlyFans page, she must be alive. Um, but at the time of the alleged suicide, it was said that it was because of cyberbullying by other, you know, black content creators. And I believe one content creator, Tommy Sotomayor, was called out, so to speak. Now, Tommy's not like one of my favorite content creators or anything like that because, he doesn't really have a whole lot to say um, of a positive nature about black women. So, and then, he was involved in that YouTube mess a couple of weeks ago that we don't even know whether it happened or not, so I'm going to leave that alone. Um, hey, Sunray. How's it going? How's it going down under? I'm talking about this YouTuber who allegedly committed suicide earlier this year when COVID-19 first started, and now she has a OnlyFans page. Like she's resurrected from the dead. Yeah, he's really not. Yeah, Tommy's an idiot, but you know. So apparently, Sasha Ray did not commit suicide. Maybe she just committed YouTube suicide. I think it was just YouTube suicide because apparently she's still alive, or somebody's running a OnlyFans page for her, and you know, shouts out to some of the content creators that talked about her earlier and who actually you know followed this young lady. I mean, I would pop in and off of her stuff when she was on here, but I wasn't really following her because she was kind of like in the baby mama sector, you know. But um, and she was messy. But shouts out to specifically to Mom Cherry who kind of talked about this earlier today. Really? Yeah, but this OnlyFans page. Well, here's the thing. With the OnlyFans page, this just has popped up, and apparently, literally, there has been activity on the page within the last 24 hours. Number two, she apparently has an Instagram page um, that's popping up again with activity recently. Hey, Tone. Yeah, like recent activity, like in the last 2 days. So, you know, we talked. I mean, many people talked about this when the alleged suicide happened, um, and it was said at that time that it may have been to, bring attention. And if in fact she is alive and kicking, then yeah, it was for attention-seeking purposes, and it was a selfish act. And so now I guess that that's gone on. Now she's popping back up and reinventing herself, and she's not on YouTube yet, but her page never went away. She does have and apparently her mods have access to her page. Of course, I haven't seen anything on at least her main page in 4 months, but that's not her only page on YouTube, I am told. But it's just the whole situation is just crazy. And apparently, another content creator did this same stuff before, um, faked the suicide, and then came back like nothing happened. Didn't even mention it. And now there's a parody video out there that was done by exposing stupidity, and exposing stupidity has it out there, and it's like it's Sasha Ray telling everybody how stupid they were, and that wasn't her, and that was other people that were doing that stuff, saying she never said that she committed suicide, and there was nothing that she was doing that, so it's just a crazy situation. I don't know if the girl is alive or is dead. If she did in fact you know take her own life back then this is all some sick mess. And if she didn't, this is still some sick mess. And supposedly she's from the same part of the country as I'm from. And that information came out, around with the alleged suicide, and it's on her Facebook page. Says she's from Fort Washington, Maryland. And for those of you who are not familiar with the DC area, Fort Washington is by Oxon Hill, Maryland, which is right across. the DC Maryland line in Prince George's County. And it is one of the areas when black people were moving out of DC. A lot of them moved to Fort Washington and to Oxon Hill, where my parents moved. Hey, Rich Gilly. So, I mean, and if you look at her Instagram page, it says she went to DC, she's from DC, then she went to Atlanta, then she went to California. So now apparently, while all this stuff was, you know, blowing around on YouTube, she's been living up in still living in Northern California, just not in Tracy, which is where people thought she lived, and it's apparently the P.O. box that's on her page. But she still apparently is living up in the Northern California area with her mother and a relative. So, this is all quite strange. It's quite strange. And this is about allegedly Sauceray has resurrected from the dead, which would imply that the suicide that was floating around was alleged suicide was fake, and we have another YouTuber faking their death to, walk away from YouTube for a minute. But the easiest way to do that, just walk away, take a break. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to kill yourself off. Just don't upload anything. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. But yeah, okay. We're gonna fake our own death. Now, of course, she's gonna say that she didn't do it. Somebody hacked her page. If in fact she's still alive, and that she just let the information just go on and on, I guess. But you guys remember there was like some GoFundMe out there for her kid after her alleged suicide. I'm telling you, it was just a bunch of drama. And this was what this this had to have been back in March, February, March, because it was around when the country was shutting down. The U.S. was shutting down. Hey, Raining Woman. So apparently it was all fake. But those that knew her, from these YouTube streets, were saying that it was fake back then too. And if she now has a OnlyFans page where she's putting pictures up that apparently are from years ago, they're not recent pictures. It's like, girl, what you doing? And why go to the extremes of killing yourself off because you think that you were being bullied, or you claim that you were being cyberbullied? But look, like I said, I don't know this girl, didn't know that much about her, but what I do know about her is that she was messy, and she was doxing people, subscribers. Why do people do that? Why do people, when they get mad at their supporters, start putting out their personal information? And then why do content creators have their supporters' personal information also? That's another question. Why are people giving out their personal information to that extent. Anyway, but so apparently Ray is still here in the land of the living. Clearly it's a mental issue, Rich. Clearly it's a mental issue, or it's a narcissistic issue. Because this is something that a narcissist would do. They would do something very dramatic for attention. And then, once they weren't, they were starving for attention again, they would do something else. Like, make people think that they died in the middle of this COVID, which would be perfect, where, misinformation could be going around and you can easily say there was misinformation. And now that, the country's starting to open back up, and these YouTube streets have moved on to other stuff, I guess it's time to, to come on back and say, hey, y'all, I'm still here. Did y'all forget about me? That's some sick stuff. That a twisted mind would think that way, and we all know that there are a lot of mental situations that we see going on here. Hey, Mahogany. It is playing with death. It's like you playing with death. You pretend you telling people, you have people believing that you did such a violent thing as to kill yourself. You know, and yes, it on one hand you got all this attention, and yes, it did put a focus on on suicide, and it put a focus on mental health. But now we looking at you sideways, chick. Like, what the hell? Who does that? Who does some narcissistic crap like that? Y'all, I almost said the I almost said one of those bad words that I try to keep in my head and not bring out on YouTube. Because, talking about this chick it ain't serious enough for me to use stuff and get out of character. But it's just crazy that she would even do some dumb stuff like this. And it's you know, I mean, I'm not paying for the OnlyFans page, but if any of you guys decide to go out there and subscribe to it, let me know. Oh, she's getting a little bit of my time, only for the simple fact that I just find it crazy. And since if I hadn't talked about it before, then I wouldn't have talked about it now. But I feel that I gotta say something, because this is just it's just dumb. It's a desperate move. This is what people do for, out of desperation to get attention. Bell bottoms and afro. Well, hey, I ain't knocking her hustle. Go and get your money, girl. But we still gonna be looking at you sideways. We still gonna be looking at you sideways. You know, cause I just y'all, I just scratch my head like, who the hell does that? But apparently, Sasha Ray does it. So, you know, she'll get this will get her a couple of days. Thank you, Raining Woman. This will get her a couple of days of publicity on YouTube. Then, people will move on and be back to other stuff that they're talking about, because these YouTube streets are crazy right now. Um, you know, I mean, well, apparently there's other drama going on with another YouTuber also located in California. What the hell is going on with Cali content creators? But this one is just, I don't know, flying, or I don't know, people are saying she's catching the bus around the country, meeting up with people and, supposedly doing adult activities. Meanwhile, her kids are in California. That's not a that's really not a good look, but hey, I didn't do that kind of stuff when I was younger. And I certainly wouldn't be flying around the country or catching the bus or doing anything else, going to see anybody that's on this YouTube. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't, Raining Woman, if you go look at Exposing Stupidity's video, you'll get a good laugh, because it's a parody. They're pretending to be Saucer, and I vaguely remember someone back in the day saying that might be one of her accounts. Who knows? It might be. But, you know, let's move on to the other. These female content creators doing crazy stuff. And they do not represent the rest of us. Let me just say that. They do not represent the rest of the black women on YouTube. Sorry, but they don't. Yeah, so this other chick, and no, I'm not gonna say her name because I'm not gonna give her any, you know, publicity, but I can describe it and y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, is apparently going around the country, you know, visiting male content creators, and then, you know, other illicit activities are apparently going on, because there is a video up where it looks like there was some illicit drugs in the room. And apparently, right now, she's in New York. And supposedly someone tried to call CPS. Supposedly, I don't know if that really happened though. And this particular YouTuber is always on camera smoking a blunt. So, you know, in their bra. And they too have a million channels. But I believe they've lost a couple of them. Um, mess mahogany. Her content is about mess. This other content creator that I'm talking about. Because she gets into mess with, she seems to keep getting into with male content creators, and then when she falls out with them, she starts to say all kinds of vile things in regards to them. you know, yeah, I can't say that she has any specific content, you know, because any lives that I've seen from this particular content creator is her either going off on someone that she saw, you know, going on about some beef that she may have with one of the female YouTubers. Um, you know, she's another. She thinks everyone's jealous of her. Um, and I mean, I've heard her say kind of crazy things, you know, that would lead me to believe that she doesn't consider herself the same as us black folk, because I believe that she's, I think she's like Tiffany Haddish, you know, that Eterin. Yeah, I think she's Eterin, and you know, which would make her non-ADOS. So she says crazy stuff. I've heard her say crazy things, you know, about other women, and you know, I mean, people say crazy stuff about her too. So I'm not saying it's not going both ways, you know. But yeah, she's apparently, this one is in New York, and she's allegedly hooked up with a married content creator, you know, and allegedly she also ran into someone who she had been beefing with on YouTube, you know. So I don't know. I would say, I guess the girl don't have no job, because she is always floating around. You know, I mean, throughout this COVID thing, she's been going all over the place, and people are saying she apparently lost her job. Now she's saying she's going to move from where she is, so that when she comes back to California, people won't know where she lives, because a lot of people know where she is, because she's been doxxed, her name's been doxxed, her address has been doxxed. I mean, she's doxed people too. You know, that's what. And I mean, and this particular YouTuber has threatened that she was going to kill herself on a number of occasions. But I just think she might have some self-esteem issues going on, because, you know, no offense to the guys on YouTube, you know, but what kind of caliber of man are you expecting to find on YouTube? Seriously, in these black spaces. I mean, and why would you be on here and then floating around? It's just not a good look. Now, granted, she is grown, and as a grown woman, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, but it's just not a good look. Especially if you actually are serious about being on here and you actually want to make some type of brand on here. But I mean, if you know, this is just about kicking it and doing whatever it is you want, hey, do what you do. But I wouldn't conduct myself in that manner. You know, I just wouldn't. You know, and I mean, and there's been a long ass lives about this particular content creator in the last couple of days. I think I was in one that had gone on for, at least when I came in and listened from the clouds, that had been on for about 5 hours this morning. It's probably who you think it is, Miss Mahogany. She's got, I don't know, she's had one, two, three, four, five channels that we know of. Several of them no longer exist, but three, four, and five do. you know, and I mean, I've seen people showing clips of lives that she's posted in the last couple of days, and like I said, in one of those lives, it looked like there was some illicit drugs, and then and in another live, it looked like she was taking illicit drugs. You know, and I'm not talking about smoking her blunt. I'm talking about she was. It looked like she was doing something else. And again, it's not a good look, especially when you are a mother of minor children. And granted, they're probably not on YouTube or anything, but that stuff will live in infinity. And maybe in 5, 10 years from now, your kids are going to see that stuff. And then you, as the mother, are going to have to explain that to your children. And I believe one of her children is an adult. You know, so I'm not going. I don't know her kids, so I don't have much to say about it. But I just, as a mother, I would just, you know, hope that she would think about the things that she's doing now and how it affects her children, or how it could affect her children potentially. You know, but there's so many people in their feelings on YT right now. We got folks coming back from the dead. We got other folks that are floating around here. And then we got other folks that are allegedly jealous of an avatar. Now the avatar stuff is funny to me. You know that's funny. It, it, if it is her, fine. If it's not her, fine. Um, but if I were only showing my avatar, you know, not that I don't come on here and talk about what other people look like, period. But if I were only showing my avatar, I would not be getting on here talking about other people. I mean, especially other women. Come on now. Especially, when you have inserted yourself into Black American YT, and you're not even from here, and you're inserting your opinions into Black America when they're not being asked for. On issues that are in a whole nother country from you. Now, exactly, an avatar of some some person from the UK who appears to be a biracial woman. But the man, they've been dragging her avatars because the avatar keeps changing. You know, but I think that they're dragging her because she's been talking about other people. And it's like, if you're gonna start talking about other people, then cam up. him up, and, shut him down. But, she's come up with all kinds of reasons why she can't cam up. It's like, really, chick, it's not that serious. And the privacy laws, because that's how they say it in the UK, over there, have nothing to do with whether you can cam up or not cam up on YouTube. The problem is that you're on here saying crazy stuff, rhetoric, and that's why you're hiding behind an avatar and aren't going to show your face. So now people can assume that you may be a male. They can assume that you're not black. They can assume whatever they want. You know, and and eventually, the the sparkle, I guess, for the ones who are following behind that avatar will go away. Because right now she's who everybody's talking about this week. And as you can see, it's not just her. Wow. That's why I don't understand why people are giving out information on people that are not even on the platform. Not even on the platform. Why people are giving out information about people's kids, posting pictures of people's children under 18 and over 18. If they're not on YouTube, why are you bringing them in the middle of something? And even if they are on YouTube, if they don't have nothing to do with this, then they don't have nothing to do with this. It's like it should be between you and whoever it is. Why do people go there? They do, though. But if you're a parent and you're on here doing stupid stuff, that's a chance that you take with, your family being put out there. They shouldn't be put out there, but then again, you shouldn't be on here doing dumb stuff either. And when I'm talking about being dumb stuff, it's like, going too deep in on people. Roasting is one thing, but when you start making up stuff, and then you start saying things about people's kids, it gets really, really, really messy. I mean, YouTube has this whole policy, you guys, because of children being exploited, or them feeling that children are being exploited on this platform. And people just doing whatever the hell they want to do, you know. And granted, they can't go after everyone, but at some point they gonna mess with the wrong person, and somebody gonna take this off of YouTube. You know, somebody gonna take it off YouTube. Cause see, they do all kinds of crazy stuff in other sectors of YouTube. Because y'all know there's a bunch of mess going on all over YouTube. And it gets really deep. People, I mean, there's a family channel that I support. They got um their channel hacked, and so they had to start all over. And the hackers of their channel are putting crazy stuff on that channel. They told YouTube YouTube didn't do anything about it. And it was a monetized channel. So, I mean, you know, that kind of stuff is happening. And then, you know, I told you guys the other day that I was in the chat of a content creator who's always cool, calm, and collected. And he went off about someone doing something, you know, messing with his business, you know, donating something to his business, you know, donating money through his PayPal account, and then saying it was a fraudulent transaction. This is the reason why I don't even have my PayPal out here. I don't have time for that mess. Cash App. I mean, but seriously, y'all, I forgot to put my banners up, y'all. I was so busy talking. There they are. But you have to flag people. See, that's the thing. These people don't get flagged because sometimes the people who are being doxxed, they don't even know they're being doxxed. Their information is, you know, someone is typing stuff in the chat. Another reason why I have moderators. That's another reason why when you're doing live streams, you have to have moderators because people do stupid stuff in your chat. You know, you may not have any beef with somebody, but somebody else does, and they just decide that they're going to come into your chat that has nothing to do with this person and start putting their personal information in the chat. You know, I mean, I've been in a couple of chats where people started typing stuff, and you immediately see, you know, moderators trying to delete it, and the person whose channel it was getting upset because this is happening in their chat. Nobody wants to be in the middle of any doxing situation if they're here about, you know, creating a brand and giving out information. You know, yeah, people's channels are getting flagged. In regards to that, the first situation that I was talking about, someone's channel is being flagged now, or they attempted to flag them in regards to talking about her. But I think it was because they posted that picture of her where she has the angels, and they were trying to say that it was a copyright infringement for posting that. How many people have posted that picture? How many people have posted that? That picture's been posted all over YouTube. So what is her mom gonna do? Run around YouTube and flag everybody's channel that's on? But wait, I thought that Sasha Ray allegedly killed herself, right? So if she did, then why would we be worrying about what people are saying or what people are posting? Just making an observation. Just making an observation. You know? So, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Oh, today I heard on the news that the second officer in the Parkland shooting got his job back with back pay. So now both of those officers, both of them that were involved, you know, that were on the scene and didn't really do anything, yeah, They both have gotten their jobs back and getting their back pay and everything. And they're saying in this case, it's because the sheriff's department did not file the dismissal in time. All because they didn't get some paperwork in time. This dude gets his job back. And he gets his back pay. Yep, that's how it works. That's how it's working these days, I guess. That's crazy. I didn't even hear that the original one, the one who hid behind his car, I didn't even know he had gotten his job back. He has been got his job back. So this is how we treating this where kids were killed. So our kids are not protected, and then the officers who didn't protect them are rewarded with getting their jobs back. Telling y'all, this is the kind of stuff that's going on. I guess this is part of 45's, making America great again. But he was asked 6 months ago, how has America ever been great for Black Americans? And you know what? He couldn't answer the question. He said all kinds of stuff about what's going on right now with, the higher home ownership and pay rates and everything prior to COVID. However, most of that was in place because of things that happened before he was even in office. And as far as I'm concerned, America's never been great for Black people, and all of his quote unquote make America great again doesn't sound like it's anything about us. Not if you want to beef up police, not if you're talking about Black protesters are thugs and hooligans. How's that making America great for Black people? I mean, because unless you get rid of, us and the Latino and the Asians, America is pretty much not white. So how's it going to be, this America that you want from the 50s, a simpler life? When I didn't really have a right to vote, depending on what state I lived in, where I couldn't go into certain restaurants or stores or bathrooms. But, those of you who are thinking about voting for this man in this election, and I'm sure he's, I just want you to put that into your consideration in thinking about voting for him. What has he done to make America better for Black Americans? Not if he did something for you personally or did something that's helping you personally, but overall, we're still his Blacks, it's his Black, his African Americans, his Latinos, You know, that's how he refers to them. That's how he refers to anybody that's not white. But he's not racist, y'all, right? He's not racist. Oh, and I'm not saying that the other guy isn't either. You know, that the other guy is a saint. I'm not saying that. I'm telling people to think about all of these things when you're deciding who you're going to vote for. Look at the whole picture. Ask all of those questions. Ask Mr. Biden the same dang going question. How, you know, ask him that too. He probably can't answer it either because it hasn't been great for Black Americans as a whole. I'm not talking about the athletes and the rappers and the actors, you know, or people in entertainment, I'm talking about for John Smith on the street, you know, who was middle class but doesn't quite know if he's going to be middle class again, or he's barely hanging on to it because the middle class. Because most of us are probably what you would consider middle class, you know, or at least that's what we think we are, you know, just based on where we are as adults. Not talking about how it may have been when you were younger, because at one point when I was younger, we were poor. It got better, and by the time I was an adult, my parents were middle class, and my dad is considered probably upper middle class. I'm not. He's rich. I'm not, and he's rich to me. So let me just put it out there like that. But you know, that's the things we have to think about because the Fed has said they're probably going to leave interest rates near zero for the next 3 years, which would be good for us as consumers. So if you don't have good credit, get it good so that you can take advantage of this during this time period. But I know people. We keep saying that this is a serious election. I mean, and people always say every election is serious, but this man is just trying to downplay how he didn't handle things correctly at the beginning. And here's my thing. Would would it make me happy if he would admit that he was wrong in the beginning and that he should have done things better and take responsibility for that? Absolutely. It wouldn't change my overall opinion of him, but I would at least respect that versus blaming everything on everybody else. Because, okay, say the disease, the virus did come from China, then why has every other country seemed to have been able to get this crap under control? You know? And this could be very much like the Spanish flu that came and wiped out all of these people, and then the next year it was like it wasn't even there. I don't think that that's the case with this one because I think this is a lot tougher than the Spanish flu. But if you go back and look at pictures during the time of the Spanish flu, you'll see people walking around with masks on, just like we are today. So we've been here before. We've been here before. And in that situation, the difference is that broke out in all different parts of the world simultaneously without it like traveling like this one. This just traveled, with people. Now we are seeing that, everybody's starting to open back up, but I don't think we're going to get back to like the way it used to be for quite some time, if ever. I can see all of the major sports doing the same thing that they're doing this year, next year, probably with the full season. But, they're literally testing these guys every single day, every day. That's what's happening for people who work in hospitals, getting tested every day. Now, good luck to them with making this vaccine that they're coming up with mandatory. Good luck to them with that one. Because every vaccine that they've come up with, they have not gotten 100% compliance. They've gotten, for the flu shots, the last ones, I think they got maybe 30 to 40% of people actually went and got the vaccine. The rest of us gave them the middle finger. And I've already stated, I'm not taking any vaccine. I'm not taking any vaccine. And my son who has autism and who I believe autism was set off by vaccinations being given to him in a bundle. Yeah, we're not doing that. So, unless they, for, physically force everyone to take that daggone vaccine, which they're not going to be able to do. It's not going to be that way. Hey, life is a reality spiritual journey. How are you? It's not going to happen. But they claim they're going to have something by the end of the year. But it won't be for the general public. Even if they do have something by the end of the year, it's not going to be for the general public at first. It's going to be for like healthcare workers who will probably have to mandatory take it. That's who they're going to have it ready for, maybe by the end of the year. But the general public, no, I don't see that happening. But I know I've been on here for an hour, so let me come on camera so you guys can see me. It's kind of dim in here because I don't have the lights up bright tonight. Let me see, where's my camera? Hey guys. Here comes David. Come on, sit down next to Mom. Let me move my leg so you can sit down next to me. Here he comes. Go on, sit down, sit down, sit down. Say hi. Mm-hmm. Say hi. Mm-hmm. All right, so he's saying hi. Okay. Hey, you guys, thanks for coming through. I appreciate y'all sitting here and listening to me just go on and on. Hey, Latoya. Wow. Hey, sis. It's good to see you. I'm glad you called me before I jumped off. I will be back on tomorrow. I am working on like 2 or 3 vlogs right now. So I'm trying to get them done so I can get them uploaded as well. I will be doing an extended live stream over the next couple of days. There will be like a best of. I'm going to be playing one of my playlists. Y'all know I'm grinding to those 4K. I'm grinding to those 4K hours. But I will see you guys later. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Peace.